Hello there fellow captains, this is Connor and welcome to the first video in a series of videos where I'll be covering each of the class of ship in Dreadnought and their roles in battle. Now I thought it was only apt that we begin with the actual namesake of the game, the Dreadnought line of ship. There are a number of ways that you can play the Dreadnought class. You can be a mobile nuclear warhead launching platform, you can become a carrier if you want, and also even a broadside beast. It just really depends on what you want to be doing in the game. Now there are some compatibility issues you want to take into mind, such as each of the three manufacturers' line of Dreadnought have different strengths and weaknesses. The Jupiter Arms line have the highest hull strength, but they're also the slowest and unmaneuverable of all three Dreadnought lines. Oberon are completely the opposite. They're very fast, very maneuverable, but they have the lowest hull strength of the three different line of Dreadnought. So your playstyle can very much come down to what ship is best for that particular role. For example, the Oberon line of Dreadnought are very good for the broadside maneuvers. With the increase in speed but lower hull strength, that will allow you to get into battle quite quickly, and with a decent module loadout that complements that speed, you can get out of battle just as quickly as you entered it. Personally, I prefer playing the Monarch. The Monarch is the tier 5 Jupiter Arms Dreadnought. It's the slowest Dreadnought and possibly the slowest ship in the game, but it can also take some serious punishment from enemy fire and survive to talk about it. The loadout I choose for my Monarch is the complete opposite of what an Oberon captain would choose for theirs. I would go with a nuclear weapon for the first module slot, vulture missiles for the second, armor amplifier for the third, and fourth would be a warp jump, just in case I need to either get into or out of combat a little bit faster than my speed allows. So this loadout allows me to assist from range with the nuclear missile as well as vultures, but also when I get into the combat I'm able to put down the armor booster pulse, which not only affects myself but also benefits my allies to withstand a great deal of fire. But it completely depends on what you want to go with. There are quite a few different modules available and many playstyles to choose from. So now that all that scripted part of the video is out of the way, take a seat, get comfortable, and let's have a couple of games to show you what I mean. Alrighty, so our first game is Onslaught on the Elysium map, which is actually probably one of my favourite maps in the game. It would be nice if we had a few more maps, but that's not what this video is about. We're in the Monarch. The Monarch is the tier 5 Jupiter Arms Dreadnought, and as I mentioned previously, it is the slowest, but it has the highest hull strength of any other ship in the game. The loadout I'm going with is the nuclear missile, the vultures, the armor booster pulse, and warp jump. The warp jump is only tier 4, it is the last thing I'm needing to upgrade to tier 5, but as far as the modules go, warp jump isn't really a necessity for tier 5, at least for me. So the objective of this game is to kill the enemy and gain points. If you destroy the enemy command ship, which is a computer or a bot controlled ship, you get more points. As you can see there is an enemy corvette closing in. If I could get rid of the... there we go. Enemy corvette closing in on our command ship there. Assault blink warp I think he's about to use. There we go, yep. Quite a bit of damage done to our command ship, but we need to take out Rhetoric here before he can run amok anymore. No need to use a module there. But there might be use for a module here. Yeah, let's launch that nuclear warhead. The enemy are quite clustered up there, and there's a few soft targets. We have a couple of tacticals. Nope, sorry, a couple of our artillery cruisers and a single tactical. So a nuke will do some nice damage here, as you've seen. Our vultures are en route to that enemy tactical, but the enemy tactical is down. So they have... or maybe not, no, I think he jumped. Yeah, he jumped. But the missiles won't make it. The range is too great. Currently engaged in a gunnery duel with Apollo. Apollo is in the Oberon line of Dreadnoughts, but he's not really worrying me. What's worrying me are the other enemies surrounding me. Now I'm not really sure what Rhetoric was doing here. Even a wounded Monarch is a dangerous enemy, and he just learned that the hard way. But it cost us a ship, and all hands went down with her. But don't worry, we'll respawn in a minute. It's not like these are real lives, just virtual lives, and virtual lives do not matter. Don't believe anybody that tells you otherwise. Right, we're back in. Okay. Right, now we need an enemy target for the nuclear missile, but we do want the enemy to be clustered for the best outcome of a nuclear explosion. Right, so Sugar Rush is there, and I'm assuming the rest of his team are gathered around him. There goes the nuke. Just wanted to show you a little animation. Again, this video is more for newcomers, because we need more people playing this game. There are those of you out there who probably don't, but come on, we need more people playing the game. If we wanted to survive and live, we need to do it. Okay, Sugar Rush survived the nuke. Can't say that his little allied our Corvette there did. He took quite a bit of damage. There we go, vultures on their way to Care. Care being the Oberon, or not Oberon, sorry, the Akula Vector line of destroyer. Okay, a couple of enemies down. And yes, I am fairly certain that the enemy are gathering up over there, so let's close the distance. Throwing power into engines for what little good it does. And there we are. Apollo is back. Oh, and I think we have a Jutland as well. Yep, tier 4 Jupiter Arms Dreadnought. And I was right, here they are. They're all clustered up. Zeres 1 is an enemy tactical. He is our target here. Let's get rid of that little frigate in the meantime. Oh, these guys are really clustered up. So the reason I jumped in here, just to point out what I'm doing, is so I could take all of the enemy's attention onto myself. I have the armor booster pulse enabled. I have power or energy into shields, so I am taking a lot less damage. But at this point, my hull strike is dropping quite quickly, so I use my warp jump to jump to an ally. And now, as you can see, the enemy have focused their fire or changed their fire to an ally of ours. You can see him on the left there, an allied destroyer. But I needed to get out of there. I did my job. I took quite a bit of fire from the enemy as well as their attention. Oh, and the enemy command ship has warped in. Right, let's go over and see if we can take it out. I mean, I don't think we're going to be able to, no. No, we're too slow. By the time we get there, it'll already be dead. We have an allied artillery cruiser focusing on him. And by the time I even get in range to deal any sort of damage, it'll be too late. So let's fire a nuclear warhead at Care 10 there. Yep, there we go. The little, not artillery cruiser, the enemy Corvette, sorry, is moving in closer. So this nuke is gone. Oh, look at that. About 95% of damage dealt to that Corvette, and he's down. Awesome. Now there's a number of other softer targets here. We have two enemy destroyers and a tactical. If you are playing as a DPS in this game, meaning damage per second, I just say that for any damage dealer really, but that's my World of Warcraft way of speaking. But if you're in a damage dealing ship, your target should always be, if possible, to take out the enemy tactical cruisers or the support ships. I would say ignore Dreadnoughts unless there's no other target there. Because if there's tactical healing up a Dreadnought, it's nigh impossible for you to be able to take them down alone. Tacticals are nowhere near as overpowered as they used to be, but they're still, you know, they're pretty damn effective. If you're the only one trying to take down a target, they can heal through that pretty easily. Right, let's save these vultures here, and let's fire the vultures at Care 10. Or maybe Adriano. No, we need to get behind cover here. Oh, look at our hull strength. We've got about 5% left. Oh, that was close. And we're almost out of energy, so let's take the power or the energy out of engines and let it regen a bit. Enemy missiles on their way, but an ally has used their point defense laser system to take them out. Awesome. We've got quite a bit of support here, which is good. A Dreadnought is nothing without support. I mean, of course, you can do well without support, but Dreadnoughts excel when they have support, especially the Jupiter Arms line. Okay, now we are being healed a bit. Or at least we were. Are we still being healed? I don't think so. I can see a tactical, but I don't think he's healing me. Let's jump in on Apollo there. Oh no, yep, jump to an ally. I missed the actual jump target there. I'm moving a bit too fast here. This is of course pre-recorded, just so that I'm not distracted while talking about it, even though I was literally just distracted. I apologize. But let's focus all fire on Apollo. Again, we're pretty damn low in the energy and hull strength departments, but if you look at the radar at the top right, you'll notice that pretty much we're home free. There's very few enemies in a position to actually kill us. No enemy nukes at Thought that was one that was going to land right on top of us, but it wasn't, of course. Right, now let's start getting back into the fight. Our whole strength is slowly regenerating, but I mean, look at the score. One more kill and we've won. So I'm not going to be getting anywhere in time for another kill. No chance. But I don't think I've done badly this game. As you've seen, I've tried to take the enemy attention onto myself, because I can take the damage, basically. I'm just a massive, over 1,000-ton punching bag. But when I need to put out damage and get kills, I can do it, as long as I'm within range, or as long as I have a module that's ready to be deployed. Now this second game is a completely different affair in regards to how this Dreadnought plays. I'm playing in the Tier 3 Oberon hero ship, the Hanuman. Still a little bit confused on how to pronounce that, but this ship is a different bag of fish or kettle of fish or whatever that saying is altogether. This is a close quarters combat brawler. So let's see it in action. And just spoiler alert, this game does not go well. And I'll get into why during the actual events of why it doesn't go well. But it's a team deathmatch. Fairly simple. Get kills to get points. Once you've hit a certain amount of kills, you win. But anyway, that's a nice little shot there of the entire fleet. Right, okay. So our loadout is plasma broadside, heavy torpedo, stasis pulse, and armor amplifier. Now you can tell quite a bit about how a ship is supposed to play a best loadout. So for example, plasma broadside indicates that close quarters. Heavy torpedoes indicates, again, close quarters, because torpedoes need to be launched at, fairly close to mid ranges. Stasis pulse can only affect enemies that are quite close, and armor amplifier, of course, reduces damage taken. So in combination, the way it works is, get close to an enemy to launch your torpedoes. The torpedoes will assist in taking down the shield if the shield is active. Stasis pulse stops the enemy from escaping while you close the distance and hit them with a plasma broadside. If the enemy are fighting back, or if there are a number of enemies that are a threat to you, activate the armor amplifier, put power in the engines, and get out of there. And then rinse and repeat. And that's what I attempt to do in this game. But Dreadnought is a team-based video game, and it does require teamwork from now and again, from time to time. Okay, we've hit the enemy corvette with a stasis pulse. Didn't even need to use our plasma broadside, or did we? I think we did. But I believe we finished them off with our torpedo and our repeaters, our secondary battery, which are the repeaters. Enemy missiles on our aft, but our shield absorbed the brunt of the damage. But now we need to get behind that station there, because there are a number of enemies behind us. A Dreadnought, a tactical cruiser, and also there is a sniper somewhere back there in his artillery cruiser. So danger all about that aft. At this point in the game, I could already tell that the allied team weren't really going to be assisting me much, or doing much of anything. Because at this point I had already been around to the enemy's advance. I had taken down one of their corvettes, and swung around back to where our team were advancing, and noticed that some of them hadn't even made it in yet. And that is going to just continue as a bad streak of luck throughout this entire game. So let's have a peek. Okay, that other enemy Oberon Dreadnought is still there. Where is the tactical, though, that he was with? Enemy destroyer. Oh, there he is. Okay. Nab's Shrike is our target. Let's close the distance here. We have everything off cooldown, so any modules we need to use are available. Torpedoes are deployed. Bit of a wonky shot there. Yeah, they're going to hit the station. In range for a stasis pulse. The enemies in range have been affected by it, so they cannot move. Let's hit him with a plasma broadside. Target down. But this isn't going to go well for me. There's a almost full hull strength enemy Dreadnought there. And he also has an allied destroyer close by. Not to mention the tactical that's closing in, as well as the artillery cruiser. But at least we got a tactical. Yeah, that tactical kill was worth it. I enjoy my tactical kills. Oh, God, do I. Let's get back in. There we go. Now, we're already losing this early in, and it's already not going well. If you look at the just general layout of the map now, if you just remember this general area of the map, neither my team or the enemy really moved from their initial starting positions in these fights here. As soon as we spawned in, my allies moved into this area where I am now. The enemy team moved into over where they are now also. Neither really moved, apart from closer to the end, where the enemy were actually pushing our team back. At this point, I'm getting tired. Tactical's being protected. Dreadnought's doing a good job, or it's probably more the tactical that's doing a good job. The tactical is using him as cover, as well as keeping him alive, so he can be provided as cover, as well as a point pinata. Right, so we need to actually see if we can get a bit of a flank here, because this is just monotony at its worst. Oh, hello. There's another enemy tactical. It's Knobs Shrike again. And what's that he's with? Can't quite see the profile. Oh, it's a Jupiter Arms Destroyer. Oh, and okay. I know we're on Dreadnought as well. This is not going well for us. Come on. Need to put power into shields, or the energy, sorry, I keep saying power. All modules are on cooldown. That wasn't going to go well for us. But that enemy Dreadnought pilot was pretty damn quick in getting into position there to protect him. Daddy Liver is the name. I'll remember that. I'll be having nightmares about it tonight. Oh dear lord. I don't want to dream about Daddy Liver. Sorry. Sounds like I'm saying Daddy Liver or Father Liver. It's Dotty Liver. Dotty Liver. You see my accent? Oh, some things just don't sound quite right. Or sorry, most things don't sound quite right. We need to do another flanking maneuver here because look at, as I said, both teams are stuck in the same positions. It's as if they're engaged in some sort of World War I trench warfare, or some sort of Gears of War scenario, where you're sitting with your cog allies behind a bit of cover, firing at the Locust on the other side of the street that are also behind cover. Although there's no running up and chainsawing them, blowing their heads off with a shotgun. No, it's just sitting there and shooting at them with the Lancer. God damn it. Okay. What I want to do here is make sure that I'm in a position where the enemy line of sight does not catch me, but where I can possibly see them. So on the radar there, I can see that they're all clumped up. Now this would be the perfect opportunity for a nuclear warhead to land right on top of them. But this map also has its disadvantages for that type of gameplay because of the station. It can obstruct explosions, it can obstruct launching of just weapons or projectiles in general. Okay, let's see. Now do remember that Dreadnought is a third-person game. You don't really need to be right on top of a bit of cover or a structure to be able to see what's on the other side of it. Just angle the camera in a particular way, and you should be able to see what's on the other side. But again, we want to be taking down that enemy tactical. We are being fired up by 2 enemy artillery cruisers. We're about to get the attention of a couple of other enemies, mainly a destroyer and a Dreadnought, but that enemy is a bot, I believe, so he is not going to be putting up much of a strong defense. We'll see if the plasma broadside for something else, but we're about to go down, so just let's launch it off there. And randomly, even though I wasn't targeting it, it went straight for the destroyer. I guess the plasma broadside just randomly targets something, even if the little ability marker or UI isn't lit up green. And there I am typing in that we need to be more aggressive and less passive, but what little good it's doing us. Look at the difference in score there. Just not my day. I mean, we won the first game, which is pretty damn good, but look, the enemy are sitting right out in the open. Only a couple of them are actually bothering to move, and yet our 2 artillery cruisers aren't really doing much of anything. I mean, they just looks like they're spinning in circles to me. Look at them on the map there on the radar. It's a bit odd, that, isn't it? I do believe the makeup of the majority of both teams are bots, but this is the tier 3 maximum game. There are more people playing at tier 4 and 5. Right, okay. Am I actually going to be able to get into a decent position here to probably attempt a flank and a kill? I'm not sure. They're beating us 88-40, which is fucking ridiculous. Oh, I love all these little fighters and stuff flying around. It's so awesome. Do you see them? Oh, it's so cool. But anyway, let's see if we can get a kill. Torpedoes launched against that enemy artillery cruiser. There we go. Static pulso, alright, whatever it's called again, sorry. Basically, the enemy are immobilized. Too many names, too many words, I can't remember them all. I'm only a small man. A small man of 6'2". Oh, hello, Knobstrike. I'm about to have my plasma broadside off cooldown. If I survive at least. 1 second, come on, let's go, let loose! And the match is over. Gee willikers, Batman. Didn't get to use my plasma broadside. Or hold on, did I die there? That was odd. I thought the plasma broadside would have at least got to have all projectiles fired up. But anyway, guys, that is the Dreadnoughts in, of course, Dreadnought. Don't forget, if you'd like to support me on the channel, you can check out the Patreon link below. It would be very much appreciated, as I still only have one patron. Or you can even just make a one-time donation via the PayPal link. But again, thank you very much for joining me today in this first video on the overview of a Dreadnought ship class. I'll see you next time, guys. Buongiorno.